Hello, people from all over the world. Welcome back to the channel, whether you're watching on Spotify or you're watching on YouTube, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, the scenery has quite changed. We are in a completely different location, we are in a completely different continent. We are in Ghana today. Where exactly we are is not important, but I have a special guest today. First of all, welcome back to ACEA, welcome back to ACEA, watch out. Yeah, so since I have learned a lot of things and went through lots of different stuff to make some sense out of this world, learned many different languages, went to different stages of being myself, being with other people, going to different tribes, going to different areas of the world, if you may say it this way, going through different painful experiences to joyful experiences, and ending up here in Accra on this African continent, finally, after being in Europe, after being in Asia, after being in America, after the Americas. Finally, I've made it here to Africa, to Ghana, the homeland, the motherland. And yeah, this is just going to be a short episode to show you guys the reality of the people living here. As you can see, I've done my hair yesterday. I feel like it's pretty fitting for who I am as a person and who I want to present as to the world. And once again, this episode is going to be watched by a lot of people from all over the world, hopefully. So that's why I'm speaking in English, and I'm not going to switch to language today. It's midday, time does not matter that much here, and me and some other people, names are not that important here, already had a class, and it's a class on diplomacy. It's really fun. It's walking around and seeing what we can learn from each other. And without hesitating too much, because this episode is not supposed to be too long, I just want to show you guys what is possible if you just believe in it with like little resources, if you just have a book and a pen and the right people here. And I feel like I've talked enough already. I'm trying to talk in English and not switch the language, but I want to welcome my guest here, and yeah, you can come. Say hello. I just have some questions.
Hello, guys.
Hello. So you can feel free to talk whatever language you want to speak. You can feel free to say whatever you want to say. And I just have some simple questions. Yeah, so we are in Africa, right?
Yeah, we're in Africa. We're in Ghana.
Exactly. That's all you guys need to know. The location, the actual location is a little bit secret. Yes, so how do you like living here in Ghana?
Living here is okay.
The camera's there.
So living here is like, it's not, as you know, Ghana, there are different types of cultures, traditions, and heritage. So in Ghana, for example, the food you eat here is kind of different from like the food you eat in Germany. So here in Ghana, we have delicacies such as fufu, banku, kinky, jollof rice, fried rice, and etc.
And many, many, many more. Yeah, and today this episode is just to show you guys how life can be different from a different perspective, even though we all live on the same earth. And this is also the premise of this whole podcast and also the video episode, that we're all living on this one earth. And I'm happy that we finally met here. Because it took some time that I could make it here, but they finally made it. So, could you tell me something about the culture, about how you experience your culture here?
Okay. So there are 16 regions in Ghana. There's Savannah region, there's Ashanti region, there's Bono region, Bono East, Northern. Well,
You don't have to know all of them. It's
many more.
It's many, many more. It's many different people. And the region that we are in is, of course,
Greater Accra region.
it's a greater region, and it's also a privileged position that I am in, because I am the teacher here, and I have the privilege to travel here from Europe. So you already said that you know, like Germany. What other countries do you know in Europe?
In Europe, I know.
How many are there? Do you know how many there are in comparison to Africa?
In Africa, I know how many countries in Africa do.
How many are there?
There are 55.
Close. And how many are there in Europe?
Europe, that one I don't know.
You don't have to know. It's not that it is important, but not for this podcast here. Would you ever want to visit Europe if you have the chance?
Maybe.
Why? Or why not?
There's a lot of racism there.
Tell it to the camera.
I wouldn't like to really visit Europe because there's a lot of racism there, and the white people treat the black people differently.
That is true. That is the truth. We already had a conversation about that earlier. Like I said, we already had a walk around this area here, and I'm very happy to be in the area, but it's complicated to have this kind of identity with knowing yourself, knowing your people around the world, and trying to make the best version possible for the world. So since this is only supposed to be like a 10-minute thingy, what are the problems you face here the most, you think?
The problems, so first of all, sometimes the slums of Ghana really have bad quality of hygiene. It has bad hygiene with open gutters which are smelling.
So it's poverty overall.
Yeah, but it's only in the slums. Though there are rich areas where there's a good quality of grass, closed gutters, free playgrounds and everything.
Yeah, so like everywhere it's a class struggle, you could say. There are richer areas and there are poorer areas, or like you said, slums.
Yeah.
What is the best thing about Ghana in your opinion?
About Ghana? Our culture, our heritage.
I agree. You can, as you can see, there's like no faking, as you can see.
And our...
I like do the whole turn.
I pretty much like our food a bit.
Yeah. For me, the best part about Ghana is the weather, because in comparison to Europe, where I spent most of my time, I feel more. I feel like my skin fits in more here than in Europe or some places of Asia, Southeast Asia specifically. If you've like followed this channel, this podcast for a longer time. Yeah, and if you have like one message to the world, if you have one message to everybody listening, what will it be? To the camera, please.
So I hope that white people can live in peace with black people, because our skin color doesn't differentiate who we are.
I agree. And if you have one thing to say to white people, what would it be?
Like, it should be that the people in Germany, please stop segregating black people from white people, because our skin color doesn't matter. If you are black, it doesn't mean anything. If you are white, it doesn't mean anything. There's no difference between black and white people.
That's what I'm saying always. But if I say that, people don't really believe me. So I am great. I'm happy that I could travel here to hear it from somebody who's had the life experience of a real Ghanaian his whole life, and me only being as Ghanaian as I can be, or as Ghanaian as I try to be, even though I speak the language, even though I try to blend in as much as possible with everything happening in this world. It is a complicated, intersectional world, and we also talked about climate for like a little bit earlier this day. The climate can change. The climate is always moving. That there's many different things that need to be taken into perspective when we talk about climate. What is the most important thing you do to tackle climate change, if there's something that you do?
Climate change. Okay, so I would first of all I would want to make posters about, first of all, cars with fumes. Especially in Ghana, there are lots of cars which haven't been serviced, so they produce fumes. So I want to have the funds to make signboards to motivate Ghanaians to service their cars, because fumes from cars destroy the ozone layer, and the ozone layer is what protects the earth from the sun's ultraviolet rays. So I would want to put up signboards to motivate people. Signboards help bit by bit, so I want to do that.
Yeah, simple signs. This is like one wish that one person from Africa has. I have another wish, and this is already what we're talking about here. This is what you're doing. We are taking climate action as we speak. So, dear governments of the world, please take more action. We are already trying. We're spreading love. We're spreading everything that we can. Besides things that are not good for the climate, things that are not good for the environment in general. So, as you can see, I have a very sophisticated young man next to me, and I'm very happy that he was on here today. That's all already. I hope everybody that was listening enjoyed watching, and yeah, if you want to say bye. Bye bye.